Hey guys, it's Cruz from Florida Exam Prep. If you guys just failed one of your contractor's exams here in Florida, I want you guys to watch this video and I'm gonna get you guys through this so you guys pass the second time around. Let's get right into the video.
Failures, it doesn't exist. It's not existent. What the hell does that mean? It doesn't exist. It's a figment of your imagination. If you fail on Monday, the only way it's a failure on Monday is if you decide to not progress from that, right? So to me, that's why failure is not existent. The story continues. Because, if I fail today, okay, I'm gonna learn something from that failure and I'm gonna try again on Tuesday. And I fail, I'm gonna try again on Wednesday.
One of the most important things Kobe Bryant said in this video is that you learn from your failures. You didn't fail, you gain experience when you were taking this exam. If it was your first time taking it, you learned how Pearson Vue works, you learned how the test center works, you learned how the test is organized, you learned what kind of questions they're asking on the test. If it's your second time taking this exam, you learned, all right, I went through this exam for the second time and I didn't pass, but I know I have to study this information again. I have to study this information again. Maybe I need to focus more on math. Maybe I need to focus more on how to navigate the books. And I want to show you guys right now on the computer that only about 50% of people pass this exam. So you're not the only one that's failing this exam. There's other people that are in the same boat as you. You just got to keep going, keep striving so you guys can pass the next time around. So here is the exam performance summary directly from Pearson Vue. This is the date range right here. So if you're taking the business and finance exam, it's a 57% pass rate for first time takers. For repeaters, it's a 39% pass rate. And I'm gonna just scroll down. You can pause the video to see what the pass rate is for the exam you're taking. What I wanna show you with this is only 57% of people are passing this exam on the first try. It is a pretty difficult exam to take. And I just want to congratulate you for taking this exam, for trying to take this exam, because you're trying to do this. You're not like most people that just buy the books, look at the books one time and say, oh, I don't know how to study this, I'm not gonna do this. Or they buy a course and they don't go through the course, they just buy it. You actually went through the books and tried to take this exam. That is very big, that is huge. So you failed your first try, but once again, you gain that experience taking this exam. I'm going to show you guys now how to pass it second time around. The first thing I want you guys to do is you probably got a piece of paper just like this from Pearson Vue. So this is a pass, so it says different things here. If you got a fail, it will say an option to review the exam. So there's a number on there. It's easy to call a number than to do it online. So call the Pearson Vue number and ask that you want to review the exam. What you can do in the review of the exam is they will show you the questions you got incorrectly. So what I recommend you to do is go in there, look at the questions, and actually try to find the answer in the books. This can help you a lot because you got that wrong. You can look at, review it in the books and see, and you can take your time to actually find the answer. This helps a lot. I always recommend if you fail to do this right away. One thing I just want to mention real quick is I see a lot of people when they fail this exam, they say that the government wants them to fail, that the government doesn't want to give out more licenses and stuff like this, a bunch of, I don't know. But I just want to tell you, there's people out there passing this exam. I showed you on the Pearson Vue, 57% of people pass this exam. So you got to get that out of your head and you got to think, the people that make this exam, the people Pearson Vue or DBPR that's making this exam for you to take, their goal is to make these questions hard. Their goal is to make it as difficult as possible. And you, as the person taking the exam, is to see through that, to read the question carefully, to understand the question and answer it as best as possible as you can, and answer it with the right answer. Of course, that's the main idea of taking this exam. So you guys got this. I'm gonna show you guys another video by Kobe Bryant.
That summer, I made 1,000 shots a day. 1,000, right? That's on top of weight training and my conditioning. I made 1,000 shots, and they weren't just shots. It were shots that you saw in that game. There were specific shots. I mean, it was coming out of the corner, going to the pinch post, footwork in the post, coming off the screen. It was very specific. So when you download that into your system and you go out in the court and you're just executing things that you've done thousands of times before, and you have that dream, then that becomes possible.
Let's break down what Kobe Bryant is exactly talking about Before we do that, I want to show you guys a video from the first video that's on my channel of when I passed my business and finance exam, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I highly recommend, if you don't have a practice quiz that you're taking, to make sure to buy a practice quiz or a simulator. Just practice that over again. That's what I did. I probably did over 1,000 questions before I even took my test, just to make sure exactly what I was doing, how to navigate the book. I never read the Contractor's Manual, the whole book. I didn't read it. I pretty much knew how to navigate that whole book. I did read every single chapter in the accounting book. I took the practice quizzes after the end of each chapter in the accounting book. There's questions at the back of each chapter. I read every single chapter and took the quiz because I personally was struggling. Every time I took the practice quiz, I was always failing the accounting part. I felt that the only way to understand the accounting was if I actually sat down, read it, and learned exactly. The main thing that Kobe Bryant is saying in this video is you need to do repetition. To pass this exam, you probably need to do 1,000 practice questions. So you're studying. Every time you're doing a practice question, it's preparing you for this exam. So when you sit down in this exam, hey, I know this is in chapter 1. Hey, I know this is in chapter 2. Hey, I know this is in the Builder's Guide to Accounting. I know this is in the AIA documents. You're well prepared. You've seen similar questions to this in a simulator or in a practice quiz. If you guys need a practice quiz or a simulator, I do have them for sale, link down below. There is over 1,000 practice quizzes in those simulators, so they will for sure help you prepare for the exam. So that's the most important thing. I personally did over 1,000 practice quizzes before I went and took my exam. I see a lot of people, they go through my highlighting guide videos and then they go take the exam and they're like, I went through all the highlighting guides and I didn't pass the exam. You can't just do the highlighting videos. Kobe said he worked on it. He worked on his footwork. He worked on his jump shot. He worked at specific things so he could prepare himself for the next season. You got to work on the highlighting. You got to work on the practice quizzes. You got to work on also, if you buy a course, they have exactly what you need to focus on for the Contractor's Manual, for the Builder's Guide to Accounting, for the documents. I go over all of that in my course so you guys pass the next time around. If you guys want to join my course, there is a link down below as well to join the course. I think the most important thing that you should focus on now is to do more practice quizzes. Maybe do the highlighting guide videos again that I have. Go through those videos again. Go through a course. If you don't have a course, buy a course. You can buy my course. You can buy anybody's course. I just want you guys to pass the next time around. So make sure you study, do more practice quizzes, do the highlighting videos, do your course, and you guys will pass the second time around. I am confident in you guys. Keep going. You guys didn't pass this first time. Once again, you gain that experience. You will do it on the second time or third time around. Some people it takes 2 times. Some people it takes 3 times. There's a student in my course that had to take it 4 times until he passed. But the thing is, he kept trying and kept going and going. Every time he took one of the exams and failed, he's like, hey, I learned this on this exam. I learned that on when I failed it the second time. Every time you fail, it's not a failure, it's a learning experience. You have to think like that. You can't be like, oh my, I failed, I can't do this. You can do this. Anybody can pass this exam. I passed this exam. There's 57% of people pass this exam on the first try. This is something you can do. You just got to put in the time and the effort of doing the practice quizzes, of doing this highlighting, of doing your course, so you guys are ready and well prepared on the second time. There's a video out there for Kobe Bryant as well. He was in an interview and they asked him, why are you never nervous when you're in the game? And he said, I'm never nervous when I'm in the game because I practice basketball so many times. It comes natural to me. So that's like the quiz. You've done so many practice quizzes. You've done so many videos. You've studied so much. So when you sit down to take the exam, you're like, I know what I'm doing. I've seen this before. I'm well prepared. It's funny, recently I just passed my contract administration exam, and the lady, after I passed, she handed me the paper and she's like, I knew you were gonna pass on your first try. And I said, why is that? She said, you were confident. You went in there and it just seemed like you were gonna pass. You went in there very confidently. And I told her, I went in there very confidently because I've done so many practice quizzes. I've studied for the exam so much that I knew there was no way I was going to fail this exam. I studied so much. I've known the book so well that I knew I was well prepared for this exam. You got to study these books so you go in there and pass the first try. So I hope you guys liked today's video. If you guys are interested in joining my course or buy practice quizzes from me, there is a link down below. And if you guys have any questions at all, you can text my number here. I do have a WhatsApp study group just for the business and finance exam. And then if you're becoming a GC, I have a group chat for the contract administration and project management exam as well. So if you guys want to join that, text that number. If you have any questions at all, if you need any help with the exam, you can always text me. I'm always available. I'm here to help you guys. That's what I'm here for. So hope you guys liked today's video. Please, if you guys can like and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.